Hello guys, yeah, this is Brow Daddy Yaki. Today I just want to show you about two different types of combo brows. Two different types of combo brows. Number one, when you do, first of all, I don't know if your teacher taught you like your 4 steps on drawing a perfect brow. Firstly, this is one. This is from the inner corner of the brows. This is the inner corner of the brow. Then you draw two. This is where your hash is. This is two. Then we take three. Then four. This is the outer corner of the brow. This has to level up with where the high ends, and this has to start where the inner corner. This is the inner corner of the high. This is the inner corner of the brows. Now the tail, this is the outer corner of the outer corner of the outer corner of the brows has to meet the outer corner of the eye. So your nose comes this way. So this has to meet. You put your ruler here. For example, let's say this is a ruler. Your ruler has to be straight. Like this is the outer corner. From the outer corner of your brow has to hit the outer corner of the eye, then has to hit the outer corner of the nose. That gives you the measurement of the brow, the eye, and the outer corner of the nose. That will give you a perfect shape of the brow. So now let's say we have gotten this out of the way. Now if you want to do a combo, there are different types of combo. Now let's have this one like this. This one we drew here. This is it. So sometimes I do start with the shading. After lining with your 1 hour, you have to line your brow first with 1 hour. Line with 1 RL. RL means round liner. Hope you can see that. RL means round liner. So now if you want to achieve this, I drew this before on the paper. If you want to achieve this. Start with your shading first. After lining with your one area, open the skin up with the one area by shading it. If you think you're not going to understand the shading, you can just stylishly draw a line like this. With your pencil, either your pencil or just use a brush like your eyeliner brush, to draw a line like this, because this is the part you're going to shade. You're not going to shade this part yet, so we're going to shade like this with our one area. We're going to shade like this with our one area towards you, shade towards you. So after this, after you're done with this one, now do your stroking. After this, do your stroking. This is where your line starts from. Take your stroking from here. 1, 2, 3. This is what I did here. 1. The second one starts like quarter way. 2 and 3 is this, because your brow has to be natural. You can see 1, 2 and 3. 1 is in the middle, then these two are like on the same level. So that's what I did here. Then after you've done your stroking, you don't need to do it all the way this way. So now this stroking now would help us define the front of the brows. So after you're done with this stroking now, you now use dots. Your one area, you create pizzos here because we want it natural at the top. You can use your 3RS or 3RL to do these dots. You don't put anything here. Don't shade any part of this, or even the first 3 strokes in the front. So we put all the dots here. We put all the dots here. That's it. So by the time you finish all these dots, you do all these dots, a lot of it, they will form shading. Even this one too, they are pizzos, but just that the way you put these pizzos is like this. So these pizzos, this line you're shading like this, they are pizzos, but they are forming a lot of pizzos in one position. But this one, you are tapping this one. You are tapping this one. So if you don't want to do pizzos here, you can shade lightly. This shading here, there is pressure on it, but the shading here, there is not much pressure on it. You can see how dark this one is and how light this one is. So you can pull this one here so that this place does not show lining. You can just you can shade like this. You can shade below here. For example, let's say this is the stroke here. Hmm? Below here, you can dust here. Huh? You can dust here. Your hand goes this way. Don't dust all the way, because when you dust on top of the front 3 or 4 strokes in the front, it's no longer combo. It's not going to show. The shading will cover the beauty of the stroke in the front. So now, for example, this is the brow like this now. So this is how your shading is going to come like this. At the top, it will be light. So just dust it. Don't make it hard on it. Just dust finely towards you like this. So after you've done your first pass, after you've done your first pass like this, put your analgesic gel. Apply your analgesic gel for like 2-3 minutes is okay. Take off the analgesic gel with a paper towel, like a tissue. Don't use wipes. When you take it off, start again with your. Now we use 1 RL at first, and you can as well use 3 RL after the 1 RL. Then after analgesic gel, use your 3 RL or 3 RS. So now 3 RL means 3 round liner. 3 RS means 3 round shader. So this shader shades faster than the round liner. But sometimes if you want it dusty and light tinted, the RL is more beautiful. Some people prefer RL, some people prefer RS. I use both. So we also have 5 RS. 5 RS, if you're not a professional, don't use it yet. Start with 3 RS. Because the 5 RS, if you're not careful, because it's fat, it will be jumping out of the line. Except when you're more perfect, you have done hundreds of people's faces, so you know how to handle the machine very well. 5 RS won't be bad for you. So after you're done with the first pass, use your 3 RL or 3 RS. So you go over it again. This time you can as well be on the opposite side of the customer, taking your shading from the tail towards you. You know, before I was like this, shading towards me this way, but now I'm on the other side of the brow, shading from below towards me upward. This helps you define the brow very well after your first pass. Shading towards you on the opposite side. So you have to, the line, don't let this place show line, like you put line of shading here, don't let them see where it ends. So blend it out, so that it faints inside. You see, and that's it. This one, the type of shading we did on this one is called ombre. This is ombre. I'm gonna make another video on ombre, different types of ombre, because some people don't actually know what ombre is and ombre powder is. There's difference between ombre and ombre powder. The ombre powder is totally different. You shade it like full all the way from bottom to the top. But ombre, you only shade this way. And the front too will be very light, to the top will be very light. But ombre powder, it will be shaded fully. So this is what I did here. This is what we achieved. This one. This is what we did here. The beauty here is the stroke in the front. So this is, it's called combo brows, but the shading here is ombre. So now let's do another combo using ombre powder on it. This is ombre, it's shaded in ombre. So we do this one, we do ombre powder on it. So now sometimes I can start with my stroking, or I start with my shading. So in this aspect, I can start with my stroking first. 1, 2, 3. Then you start. So I don't need to shade all the way to the bottom because I'm doing combo. So now, after your stroking, I'm not explaining too much on the stroking because we're after combo brows. So the stroking is the microblading. So the combination of microblading and shading is combo brow. So it now depends on the type of shading you're putting on it will determine, is it ombre powder shading you're doing, or just ombre. So this is ombre powder. Now you shade all the way. You remember this one I shade like halfway, but this one we are shading all the way from the bottom to the top. After you have lined your brow with one area, firstly you line with one area, line with one RL. We shade. Your shading from the tail to the hack, you have to shade it 3 times before you start moving forward. After you've done this, 1, you go over it again, because the tail clean easily. 2, you go over it. 3, same thing you do to this one. So now we'll continue shading. When you're shading, if you shade your line this way, go downward, so that there's better symmetry. If you're shading from the bottom to the top. So now when you're getting close to the strokes in the front, just do this. Don't shade all the strokes in the front like I said in this one, but make it lighter here. This one we did the top here, all these places were light, but this place, on this part, everywhere was dark. So make the front lighter the way you do ombre brow, but you are not touching this place. So you now put your booster, your analgesic gel. After your analgesic gel, 2 minutes, you shade again towards you on the opposite side, the way I explained this one. Towards you, you shade. When you get to this part, just dust it lightly. Dust it lightly. Dust it lightly so we don't see where this one ends. Towards you. Lightly. So here, for example, you can see there's this line here. I forgot to tell you about that. When you are lining, for combo, don't line all the way to the front here. Give like few inches where the stroke in the front will be. So the stroke in the front will be on the same level. So your lining should be here, should get to this place. So when your lining is coming from here, make it faint. Make it faint like this. The other part can be darker, but make this one faint so that it blends into this one. Don't make your lining show like this. It's because I'm doing it on paper, that's why I drew this at first. So what I'm saying in essence is the beginning of your brow will be longer at the bottom than the one at the top. The one at the top should be backward, so your strokes can sit like this. Yes. So when you're shading, you just blend it with it. Then the other parts can be darker. I'm going to use machine to demonstrate this in another video with a practice cane. So just blend this into it. So another example is if you don't want to dust it like that, you can create pieces. So you can create pieces here. Very natural. Don't shade, don't put pieces here. You do it. After you do the first one and you put analgesic gel, after you clean your analgesic gel, repeat that part again. So if you have any question, you can ask me in the comment section, whatever video you want me to do after this. And that's it. Take it. So I'm going to make a video on this in another video on a practice cane and shade it this way for you to understand better. Thanks for following me. I wish I can be making more videos on this, but I don't have time sometimes. So I'll be making more videos from now on. Thanks. See you in another episode.